I'm going to talk to you a little bit about electrical safety. The purpose of this trailer is to show you what effects electricity has on the human body. We'll give you some safety tips. All of you here are either old enough to drive or will be shortly. So you will want to pay attention to those safety tips. What we've got here is we are plugged into a transformer right over there by the cabins. It feeds a normal household voltage out of that transformer, 120, 240. What we do is we bring it back into another transformer that is just like what would be on a power line that feeds your house. What we've got on this power line here is 7,200 volts when I push this button. Hot. Dead. Can anybody tell me approximately how hot that arc is?
Very.
Very is correct. It's not quite 6,000, it's approaching 4,000 degrees. What these gloves are made out of is a natural rubber. They're very soft. You'll notice that Jason's got leather protectors over the outside of his gloves, and I have a leather protector over mine as well. What can happen with these if we're working on conductors or crossing a fence, anything like that, anything that's sharp, the leather protectors will kind of protect the glove, but it's very easy to cut this leather. It's got to be soft so that we have some dexterity to work on things. With that, it'll poke a little bitty hole through that glove. Let's show them that the glove is good, Jason. Hi. Jason's going to touch all the way around the thumb on that glove. Just like we were working on an energized conductor. You can see it's not doing anything. Dead. I'll put a small hole in this glove. Come on, hot. Yeah. This chicken leg has got the same basic parts in it as the human body. This is probably the most realistic show of what electricity does to the human body of anything I've ever seen. Hot. You see, as Jason's rubbing around on there, it's not doing anything. Dead. Go ahead and knock it off there. Oops, we just lost our hard hat. Hit that several times. Okay, it should be cooked now. The way electricity attacks your body is first thing it attacks is your nervous system. The next thing that the electricity does to the human body is it attacks your circulatory system. The last thing it usually attacks is the skin, other than the entry and exit point. Okay, everybody watch the grapefruit really close. It should glow like a light bulb. Ready? Yep. Hot. Okay, that's good. If everybody sees that little hole, there's one just like it on the other side, where it's burnt, where that arc was coming out of it. When electricity goes to ground, it does not just go to ground in that one spot. What it does is it spreads out in the ground. And what it makes is what we call step potential. You've all have dropped a rock or threw a rock out in the water, and then when that rock goes in, it makes the ripples as it's going out. Imagine those ripples as a different voltage in circles. But what happens if you step across those imaginary lines in the ground? That's right, it goes up one leg and down to the other. Which is why, if you're in a car accident and run into a pole and knock the line down on top of the car, we do not want you to just open the door and step out. And Tracy told you guys if you had to get out of a vehicle that's in contact with the power line to hop, That's a very good idea. At least 40 to 50 feet away. It's always better to stay in the vehicle or piece of farm machinery until one of us guys gets there to make sure that the power is in fact off. As you all notice, I am wearing a prosthetic arm. About 10 years ago, I was working in a substation and we had a little bit of an error on a switching order. We had one step that was missing. And I contacted 12,470 volts between my shoulders. I was working on a ladder and my left hand was grabbed onto the steel substation bank, which is grounded. You all can imagine what that does. My left hand looked like overcooked French fries that you would get at McDonald's or Wendy's, what have you. There didn't look like there was much the matter with my left arm, other than my hand. I had a spot on the back of my left shoulder and a spot on the back of my right shoulder. That little spot, that was slightly bigger than this, on the back of my right shoulder, is now about the size of a basketball from all the tissue that it burnt in there that it affected. See what happens to the inside of the grapefruit. That's a pretty good show of what electricity does. Electricity does a lot more damage on the inside than it does on the outside. You all have seen these funny looking outlets before that got the buttons on them, right?
Yes.
Ground fault circuit interrupters. They are made to trip in less than 1/10 of 1 second if they sense a difference in the current from the line side to the neutral side of the outlet. It's kind of the same thing as a car battery, positive and negative, except for we're working with alternating current. The current runs each way 60 times in a second in the United States. What we've got here for a demonstration is this old drill that we see a lot out on ranches. If you put this thing in the old outlet and you get lucky and get the polarity on it right, so that what should be the neutral side of the plug happens to go to the neutral side of the outlet, this case is effectively grounded through the neutral. On our electric system, the neutral and the grounds are tied together. I'll plug it in what should be the correct way. Get the cord out of the way. See, the drill works. I can touch it to our grounded trailer and nothing happens. Now imagine you just broke that ground prong off because you're on an old outlet and so you want to plug this drill in. And you don't pay much attention, or somebody has wired the outlet incorrectly. Another trick that we have seen is people will take their file and file the wide prong down so it's the same width as the narrow prong. So it'll go in those older outlets. What happens then is it's really easy to turn that around and get it backwards. You have to push kind of hard, but it will go in there. You also notice when I'm picking this up, I'm wearing my rubber glove. Now when I pull this trigger, it completes the circuit in the drill. That case is hot. Uh-oh, we just tripped the ground fault circuit interrupter instead of me getting shocked. If you see a power line down, you can always get a hold of the non-emergent sheriff's office number in your area. They report those kind of problems to us as power companies. Thank you for your attention.